the other thing that people want to do, I just remembered, is they feel like as founders they don't want to do the dirty work. You know, they don't want to do the boring stuff. They want to do all the glamorous stuff. So they figure, oh, we'll just hire some interns to do all the boring stuff. And actually, you know, if the founders aren't willing to do something, then I don't think you can ask anybody to do it. So, you know, that's the other thing to bear in mind.
Hi, thank you for your comment. Program often emphasize that the founder and team is way more important than actually the leader per se. So just wonder how many percent of your company has been actually present after the past 3 months there?
Wow. I don't think I don't know. I mean, it depends if it's a sort of 180-degree total change of direction, or there's kind of course correction. I mean, a lot of companies do. You know, Homejoy that was up on one of the slides is one of our, you know, very successful companies, and they had 2 or 3 really bad ideas before they started with Homejoy, which Adora will openly admit. And so, you know, it's a lot about the team, and it's about having that determination and that toughness to be able to say, right, this isn't working. What can we do instead, and what can we change into? And we see it a lot, and that you know comes back to the earlier question about why we ask so much about the team in the application, because that's the thing that's going to drive this forward.
I know that you guys still have a lot of questions, but given the advanced time, we'll take 2 more questions. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering about the duration of the acceleration period. So do you think 3 months is enough for everyone? Or do you think would you get better off if it's 6 months?
That's a good question. So 3 months is a good length of time because it's not too short and not too long. There's a very obvious end date. And so, you know, that pressure in the build-up to demo day actually works very, very well. However, there are companies that are maybe more of the kind of the ugly ducklings at demo day and haven't quite figured stuff out, or haven't quite, you know, found their feet on something. And so, you know, we work with them to figure out what the best plan is with them. But generally, we find that 3 months is a pretty good length of time to be able to get something out there, to start getting some traction. And, you know, at that point, the majority of people who are raising money at that point are getting money to try to validate, you know, the next steps. So they don't have to have it all figured out. It's just they need to have kind of, you know, that little kernel of something there.
Go ahead. One of you 3.
Are there specific patterns of investment that should be avoided before YCombinator, like equity crowdfunding or multitude of angel investors, or having a small amount of investment, very small amount of investment?
Well, there's kind of a layer on top of that, because obviously, you know, if you have a UK company that's taken UK investment, that does add complications, because your UK investors get their SEIS and EIS relief. For US companies, generally we say there's no problem if you raise money before. I think it sounds like the kind of method of raising money is kind of different out in the US, so usually it will not be an equity investment, so that definitely doesn't cause any problems for us when we're doing our investment. Whereas in the UK it tends to be much more, you're actually doing a priced equity round, which can cause a few more complications. But for us it wouldn't really be any kind of deal breaker. We'd just work with you to figure it out. The thing to be aware of is selling too much of your company too early. You know, we all see companies who are applying, and maybe they've already given away 50% of their company to investors. And then we come along and we want to take our 7%, and then the idea being that in 3 months' time you're going to go raise a whole load more money, and those investors are going to take some more of the company. And so before you know it, the founder's share of the company is so small that they kind of have they've lost all the upside, and they have less of the incentive to do it. So that's definitely something to be aware of, to not give away too much of your cap table too soon. But on the other hand, you know, if you need the money, don't try to optimize for the absolute best terms, because you can lose deals like that so easily. So if you need the money, some money on a bad valuation is much better than no money at all.
Thank you.
I have a good news for you guys. You asked very short questions, so we can have one more. One last one. This is really the last one. Go ahead.
Yeah, the types of companies have changed, the sort of profiles of companies. I think it's actually, as the kind of tech startup world evolves, actually. You know, the early days there was a lot of, oh, it's going to be an app to figure out what your friends are eating for dinner or something. And now there are much more of these kind of deep technical things. And I mean, it's not anything that we're not purposely only trying to go for that, but we're seeing much more of those being in our applications, and it's the kind of thing that's very interesting. And you know, we put out our RFSs that a lot of those are around much more sort of bigger problems, and whether that's very deep tech or whether that's, you know, solving transportation, you know, solving food and agriculture. It's kind of driving a lot more interesting things happening.
Kirsty, thank you so much for the interesting presentation as well as the interactive Q&A. We would like to thank you. You're entrepreneurs, and because you're on the train and also soon in the airplane, some small things so you won't die because of hunger. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Before you guys all leave, there's some really exciting announcements from Bastian and Mitch. Please come to the stage. And again, huge applause to Kirsty. Thank you so much for being here.
A really quick announcement. So as Tanya mentioned, this is the first of, we hope, many collaborations with Imperial Entrepreneurs and UCL Entrepreneurs. And right now, in collaboration also with LSE Entrepreneurs, we are organising a huge networking event for you guys next February.
Hi guys, so as part of this event, you'll be able to pitch your idea and present your product. So if you're interested in that opportunity, could you send us an email? So it's right on the next slide, if you could put the next slide. So if you're from UCL, obviously to the relevant, societies, so events at UCL Entrepreneurs, or enter at ic.ac.uk. So we're looking for your ideas, and it'd be great because you'd be able to pitch, those ideas or present your product to around 200 students. So I'm just going to pass it on to Imperial Create Lab, who has a message for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'm Dominic, I'm from Imperial Create Lab. On Friday we just opened the applications for the Venture Catalyst Challenge. So if you're an Imperial College student and you're working on an interesting idea to do with science or technology, that's all at its core, the applications are now open and we're having an info session on Friday. You can find that there. I'll also stay around in case you have any questions about that, but it's a 6-week program in the second term to prove the commercial viability of your idea. Thank you very much.
And one last thing, we're actually popping over to the union, the student union bar at Imperial, so if you want to come and join us, there's lots of us milling around with our t-shirts, so come and join us. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
am freezing. Where's my iPad?
Yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good.
Maybe too long time. Let's just